This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that investors have been allowed to purchase 200 electric buses for operation in the Western Province. The National Disaster Management Centre says 6,049 persons in 9 districts have been affected by the inclement weather. Catchment areas of Castlereagh and Mount Sakali reservoirs have received heavy rains. Over 165,000 GCE A-level students have qualified for university entrance. Sri Lanka restarts direct export of mineral sands. Foreign news, Putin and Erdogan meet to discuss grain deal amid shifting power balance. In sports, Sri Lanka will meet Afghanistan today in an encounter of Asia Cup. Local news in detail. Minister of Transport, Highways and Mass Media, Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that investors have been allowed to purchase 200 electric buses for operation in the Western Province. The minister also pointed out that this program will be implemented in accordance with the World Agreement, where all public transportation worldwide will be free from fossil fuels by 2030. Minister of Transport, Highways and Mass Media, Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, conveyed these updates during a media briefing held yesterday at the Presidential Media Centre under the theme Collective Paths to a Stable Country. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena further said that all government institutions should be digitized to prevent decrease in income. A cabinet paper has been presented to replace issuance of tickets with electronic cards. When you transact using advanced technology such as card or QR system instead of cash, you could increase the income of each of these institutions by at least 50%. Institutions such as Inland Revenue Department, Customs, Excise Department, Railways, Sri Lanka Transport Board can be rebuilt through modern technology. Without it, the government cannot bear the burden. Many changes have been made to the railway system too. The National Disaster Management Centre says 6,049 persons, 1,630 families in 9 districts have been affected by the inclement weather. The adverse weather have affected Galle, Kalutara, Colombo, Ratnapura, Kagol, Batikla, Trincomalee, Puttalam and Vavuniya districts. 122 houses have been partly damaged. Meanwhile, the NBRO has issued landslide red alert to Ahaliagoda Divisional Secretariat area. It is effective till 4 p.m. today. Meanwhile, a senior officer of the Lakshapana Hydro Power Station said that catchment areas of Castlereagh and Mount Sakali reservoirs have received heavy rains during the past few days. Mount Sakali area have received 71 mm rainfall yesterday and the water level of the reservoir has risen by 51 feet. Water level of the Castlereagh has risen by 36 feet. Lakshapana and surrounding areas have also received 90 mm of rain yesterday. The Met Department warns the fishing and naval communities to be vigilant in their naval activities in the sea off the coast from Hambantota to Pottuville and Puttalam and Mannar via Kankesanturai to Trincomalee. The sea areas of the coast extending from Hambantota to Pottuville and in the sea areas of the coast extending from Puttalam to Trincomalee via Mannar and Kankesanturai can be very tough at times. The sea areas of the coast extending from Puttalam to Hambantota via Colombo and Galle can be rough at times. The Department of Examination announced that the results of the 2022-2023 GCE Advanced Level Examination have been released online. Accordingly, the results can be viewed at the websites www.doenets.lk. Commissioner General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara says that the results are also available at www.results.exams.gov.lk. 149,487 school candidates and 17,451 private candidates have qualified for university entrance. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. Continuing with more stories here at home. The prices of 12.5 kilogram domestic litro gas cylinders has been increased by 145 rupees with effect from today, Litro Lanka Chairman Mudita Piri said. Accordingly, the new retail price of the 12.5 kilogram gas cylinder will be 3,127 rupees. The 5 kilogram gas cylinder will be increased by 58 rupees and the 2.3 kilogram cylinder will be increased by 26 rupees. Accordingly, the new retail price for the 5 kilogram gas cylinder will be 1,256 rupees and the price of 2.3 kilogram will be 587 rupees from today. Laughs Gas PLC has also decided to revise the prices of its domestic gas cylinders. Accordingly, the price of a 12.5 kilogram cylinder of Laughs domestic LP gas has been increased by 145 rupees, while a 5 kilogram cylinder has been increased by 59 rupees. The revised prices of 12.5 kilogram cylinder is 3,835 and 5 kilogram cylinder is 1,535 rupees. India's legendary cricketer Sachin Tendulkar has been invited to attend the unveiling of Muthaiya Muralitharan's biopic 800. The trailer of Murali's biopic will be released in Mumbai today. The 51-year-old Sri Lankan off-spinner ended his Test career with 800th wicket on July 22, 2010 in the Test match against India. The roles of Murali and his wife are being played by Madhur Mittal and Mahima Nambiar. The shootings of the biopic took place in India, Sri Lanka and England. Murali will be present with the cast and crew of the film. Also invited is Sri Lankan great Sanath Jayasuriya. That's on local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Sri Lanka restarts direct export of mineral sands. Export of mineral sands directly was suspended about a period of 3 decades due to the war situation in the northern and eastern provinces. Export of mineral sands was carried out with the mediation of third party during the period. Ending this situation, Sri Lanka has started direct export by sending a stock of 30,000 mineral sands to China recently from the Trincomalee harbour.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And on Watchlight, Navula Road railway crossing between Narayanpeta and Nugegoda on the Kalani Valley railway line will be closed for 2 days. The Railways Department said the railway crossing will be closed for maintenance partially from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on next Saturday and completely from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. on Sunday. Motorists who are using the above railway crossing are requested to use alternate routes. That came to you on Watchlight. Moving on.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
Say no more to moving and paying rent. Get a home loan from Commercial Bank at the lowest interest rate and get a home of your own.
Which Bhatta are you in now?
In Javatta, in my own house.
And on World News, Putin and Erdogan meet to discuss grain deal amid shifting power balance. More than 40 people injured after storm sweeps Taiwan. India's lunar lander and rover have been put in sleep mode. World News in detail. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Russian leader Vladimir Putin met yesterday in Russia's city of Sochi amid efforts to bring Moscow back into the critical Black Sea grain deal that was abandoned by Putin in July. In remarks ahead of their talks, Putin told Erdogan that Russia is open to negotiations on the grain deal. Their discussions were also expected to tackle a proposal from Moscow to supply 1 million tons of Russian grain to Turkey. More than 40 people were injured in Taiwan after Typhoon Haikyuu ripped across the island, uprooting trees and forcing thousands to evacuate. The storm, which made landfall on Sunday on the east coast, was the first to directly hit the island in 4 years. Amid torrential rain and high winds, 2 people in a mountainous region were hurt after a falling tree hit a car. Dozens others were injured, mainly by falling debris, said officials. Finally, on world news, India's lunar calendar and rover have been put to bed as sun begins to set on the moon, the country's space research agency ISRO has said. They have been put in sleep mode and will fall asleep next to each other once the solar power is depleted and the battery is drained, it said. ISRO added that it hoped they would reawaken around 22nd September when the next lunar day starts. The lander and rover need sunlight to charge their batteries and function. That's on World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
This message is for all the kids between the ages of 4 and 16 who love to draw. Commercial Bank's Arunalu Sittam is back once again. This time, the competition is also open to Sri Lankan kids currently living abroad. First, second and third place prizes will be awarded along with special merit and merit certificates. For more information, visit the Commercial Bank website. We have so many prizes to be won.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities for well-experienced housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for ages 40 to 58 years. Salary 125,000 rupees. Contact 037 7500 500.
Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment says more than 200,000 people have left for foreign employment by yesterday, following registrations with the Bureau. Accordingly, a total of 200,026 people have left the country for foreign employment by last evening, it said. Meanwhile, a total of 311,000 people had left for foreign employment last year, which was recorded as the highest number.
Job opportunities for women from Deshakti Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia, ages 40 to 58 years. Arabic speaking and well experienced home cooks. Salary 125,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can travel overseas free of charge now. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 0377 500 500. Deshakti Lanka Foreign Employment Agency.
Sri Lanka will meet Afghanistan today in an encounter of Asia Cup cricket tournament. The match will be played in Gaddafi Ground in Lahore, Pakistan from 3 p.m. Sri Lankan time. 10 ODIs have been played between the two countries and Sri Lanka has won 6 matches and Afghanistan has won only 3 matches. 1 match ended without a result. Meanwhile, India recorded a 10-wicket victory against Nepal in other match played in Sri Lanka yesterday. That's on Sports News.
Go ekathiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna aswahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship ekamenna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
A 3-day gem auction is to be held in future at the Gem and Jewelry Center in the 5th floor of the World Trade Center in Colombo. Chairman of the Kesara Singha Gems Private Limited, Dr. Lakshan Vitharana says this will help local gem businessmen to meet international buyers.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekathiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyameta set wenna aswahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship ekamenna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
One of the world's largest shipping companies, Fast Shipping, has agreed to provide employment opportunities for Sri Lankan trained seafarers. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva said when a delegation from Fast Shipping, including its managing director Yu Yong Jun, met him yesterday at his office. Yu Yong Jun said many Sri Lankan trained young sailors can be given job opportunities in his company located in China. Therefore, he said that there will be long discussions with the stakeholders involved in the naval sector of Sri Lanka regarding the recruitment methods. That's on Economic News.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, southern, central and in the northwestern provinces. Fairly heavy showers, about 50 millimeters, are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galle, Mathura and Nuwara districts. Showers are likely in the Jaffna, Mannar and Anuradhapura districts. Fairly strong winds, about 40 to 45 kilometers per hour, can be expected at times in the western slopes of the Central Hills, western, southern, northwestern, northern and north-central provinces. That's the weather update, and before we conclude this bulletin of news, back to the headlines. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that investors have been allowed to purchase 200 electric buses for operation in the Western Province. The National Disaster Management Centre says 6,049 persons in 9 districts have been affected by the inclement weather. Catchment areas of Castlereagh and Mount Sakara reservoirs have received heavy rains. Over 165,000 GCE A-level students have qualified for university entrance. Sri Lanka restarts direct export of mineral sands. In foreign, Putin and Erdogan meet to discuss grain deal amid shifting power balance. Sports, Sri Lanka will meet Afghanistan today in an encounter of Asia Cup. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news.